We're joined this morning by Assistant Secretary General, Aviation Safety Roundtable Initiative, ART, Olumide Unwayo. Good morning and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I can see myself on screen behind you. So I want, your first of all, your thoughts. There's people who have mixed reactions about this. They say, well, I mean, it might be good that, Emirates is resuming flights on the 1st of October, but there's still a visa ban, so, to some extent, for travelers moving to the UAE and Dubai. So can you clarify that? Is there still a visa ban? Is the, flights back on the 1st of, October, maybe nothing to celebrate?
Well, let me first congratulate Emirates for coming back. They went at a time when the remittance of their funds in Nigeria was stopped. The fares were high, and they tried to reduce some of their costs, especially the aviation fuel, to pay in naira, and the suppliers refused, and I said they were going to accept all the dollars, which was in the agreement. So those were the reasons why they pulled out, and they're coupled with the visa ban. Now they are coming back October 1st. I doubt if that operation will start without returning the visa policy for Nigerians to fly, because Emirates don't come here. It's only Nigerians that fly. Majority of the passengers are Nigerians. About 95% of the passengers they fly from very in and out are Nigerians. So they will need the visa ban to be lifted for that operation to be successful. So another beauty of it is that on returning, Emirates is a strong international connecting flights with most of its passengers going beyond Dubai. So you can be sure that if they return, international fares will drop by virtue of having more seats available to Nigerian passengers to fly to different countries. So that's another plus for us. Then on the flip side of it, what are they giving? What are they bringing to the table for Nigerian operators? In the past, Emirates had 40 slots into Lagos and 7 into Abuja. That's 21 slots a week. And it was difficult for Air Peace in the past to get the slot into Dubai. And that caused a lot of diplomatic brouhaha towards the end of the last government, the end of the tenure of the last government. So I think all this must be cleared and clearly said to this time around. If they are coming to Lagos and Abuja, they must also make Dubai and another city in United Arab Emirates of the choice of our airline available. Those 2 cities must be available, and slots must be given to land at the airport at the time those airlines want. Because if we are giving them those free way to land at our own prime airports, this must be reciprocated as stated clearly in the bilateral service agreement, and that's what I want the government to clear now before commencement of flights in October.
Can I clarify this point you're making now? The service agreement must accommodate, are you talking about the other local airlines from Nigeria, Air Peace and the likes? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Whoever is going to represent Nigeria on the route must have access to Dubai Airport and also to a second city if Emirates is returning to Lagos and Abuja. And we must also have 21 frequencies and slots available in those airports. It's not negotiable. It's part of the bilateral agreement. That was not a strength in the past because nobody supported the airline, the Nigerian airline that was put out there, and they were thrown into airports outside Dubai and given schedules that were unfavorable. Now that must change and must be part of the conditions before the resumption of flight. Again, the visa ban must also be lifted. It's not optional. Because if you do not leave the visa ban, then you not have enough passengers on that route. So they must leave the visa ban so that Nigerians can also travel.
All right, these are valid arguments that you have put forward that should be in the agreement. Now let's talk about how you assess the significance of the airline returning to Nigeria. How is it beneficial, for the Emirates? How is it beneficial for Nigerians? Particularly, of course, we see that there will be increased connectivity and options for travelers. But do you see the economic benefits for both countries?
Well, you remember, Emirates just declared a profit of $5 billion. That was without even operating Nigerian routes in the last 2 years. So It shows a very strong, viable airline that can do without the Nigerian routes. But now that they're coming back, they must have some value in it. There's nobody that does not want to increase its profit. And I think they are eager to return to Nigeria because for them to have been operating 21 slots with an aircraft that has minimum of about 300 passengers, you can be sure they are making good money and good profit, and nobody wants to lose that profit. Again, they've lost a lot of market share to Qatar Airways and other airlines, other North African airlines and Middle Eastern airlines. So I think it's time to come back and fight for their rightful place. But as they're doing this, you can be assured that an airline that operates 21 flights a week into Nigeria is bringing more jobs. There's that value to the aviation ecosystem, the hotels, taxi drivers, baggage cleaners, and the entire chain tend to benefit from that extra flight that's coming in. You're looking at more jobs for those working within the aviation ecosystem. And I can tell you, most importantly, that fares will drop because they are a very connected international airline that goes beyond Dubai, and almost 80% of their passengers go beyond Dubai. So you can be sure that there'll be competition. There are more seats available for Nigerians now to see which one is cheaper for them to go to anywhere in the world, and Emirates is going to bring that in. But then on the flip side, there's a bilateral service agreement between the two countries, and the bilateral service agreement says you must have you should also have a Nigerian carrier or carriers going to the UAE. So we must ensure that before they start this flight, it must be clearly stated that if we are giving you 21 slots into Lagos and Abuja, our airline must have 21 slots into Dubai and any other and the circumstance in the agreement. And that must be wasted. So we do not go back into the crisis that happened the last time before they stop flying.
I want to go back to a question, pardon me. I want to go back to the initial conversation we had, where you talked about Emirates declaring their profits and not really needing Nigeria in that sense. You also mentioned that whoever's representing Nigeria must insist that we have our number, I think about 21 spaces, I think 21 slots you said, in Dubai and in one other country, if I got you correctly. Now, if you say that the Emirates has declared profits and does not necessarily need Nigeria, do you think that that this demand will be met, this demand on the negotiation table, do you think that it will be met? And if it isn't met, what do you advise be done?
It is not optional. It's not optional. You see, the problem is we tend to see our airlines as privately owned and that we're not giving the necessary public support. Once you ask an airline to leave Nigeria on a scheduled flight to fly to another country, airlines cannot fly on their own. They are designated by the government. And once you designate that airline, it becomes your flag carrier on that route, irrespective of the ownership. You are the one that designated that airline. So once you designate that airline, it must have the backings of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Justice, Ministry of Aviation, the Nigerian Aviation Authority, and whatever government agencies that it needs the help to sort out issues in the countries it's operating to. Now, if my bilateral services says you are having 21 frequencies each into the other country and maybe more than one destination, then if I have given you 21 into my own country, then you are also to give me 21. Why would I have 21 frequencies? You have given me 21 on the paper. Then when I get over there to the airport and they tell me there's no space. So of what value is my 21 frequencies that they have given to me when I don't have slots to land at that airport? And that's what we're talking about now, that all these things must be put in place, must be agreed upon. If you are coming to Lagos, if you want 40 slots into Lagos, and then at any time the Nigerian operator is ready, he must also have 40 slots into Dubai, your prime airport. Because MMIA is our own prime airport. So if you are giving you 40 slots, you must offer that same 40 slots. It must clearly say, so we don't do the same prices. Again, they also need to renegotiate with their suppliers. Because if you are here and you want to buy in Naira and they keep insisting you must pay in dollars, this does not involve the government. It has to be within the buyer and seller. And I think Emirates should work on that now.
Yeah, and that's what I was about, getting
into. They start the operation, so we don't have the same crisis that happened before they left.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to, get into that aspect, because, but first of all, I think it's important to clarify that the Emirates resumption is not just about the UAE. There's many other travel destinations that Nigerians, have access to through the Emirates Airlines. So there's that one. And then second, how do we, avoid the issues with repatriation of funds that initially started this crisis? And do you think that the Nigerian government currently under Festus Keyamo has, been able to sort out those issues and we're not going to have this repeat itself?
Yeah, I think the first thing they did, what they've done with the devaluation of the Naira to float with the British at the black market has solved any issue of increasing the number of funds that will be trapped. Because with that now, there is no, in the past, there was a special rate of exchange for the airlines, which was much, much more lower than the prevailing market rate. And with that being lower, that helps the ticket to be cheaper. But now that the exchange rate is almost parallel with the black market rate, I don't think the airlines would have problem repatriating their funds anymore. Now, the truth is, what was cleared by this government was the funds sent by their bankers to the Central Bank of Nigeria when they bidded for dollars. It is those funds that were trapped in the Central Bank that has been cleared. These airlines still have money in their account. They are supposed to be remitted to their country that are still trapped because they are going to be at a loss now, changing those funds to dollars at the rate at which the naira is going for naira has been exchanged compared to when it was sold. If you know what I mean. But then they were selling at maybe 400, 500 naira to $1, but now dollar is over 1,000 naira. So I don't think it will be very difficult for them to say they want to change to dollars. And rather, I think they start looking for a third-party business where they can exchange naira for dollar. But now it has not been left for the airlines to get over that problem and not more the government issue. But the truth is, some of these funds are trapped, and the new exchange rate has not eased that difficulty because now that the exchange rate is parallel with the special window, the IFE window, which the airlines use, is now parallel with the black market rate. So I think that the issue of funds getting trapped will not be an issue anymore. But let us enjoy the return of Emirates. Let us enjoy the seats that were provided by the return to the Lagos and Abuja route. Let us enjoy the fares that will be affected by the capacity they're going to introduce, and let us enjoy that. Yes, Nigerians now have options of traveling to different parts of the world through Emirates Airline.
Fingers crossed.
The most important thing is we need to have our own airline to join that.
Yeah, fingers crossed. There's still a lot, of time between now and the 1st of October, and like you said, we're hoping that other airlines can also pick up, and be a part of, this whole the conversation, and including Air Peace, which has been celebrated lately for its UK flights. But I want you, to share. Festus Keyamo, of course, you're going to be 1 year and a bit as aviation minister. What targets do you think that he should, have at this point? Nigeria Air, is still hanging, on a thread. What are the targets that you think that the Nigeria's aviation ministry should set between now and maybe the next couple of years? Inclusive of this Emirates deal, what other things should we be looking at?
Well, I think we should work on having more airlines. We should look at building, look at the regulations and see whether we can set up a new rule regulations for a lower tier aircraft. What I mean here is aircraft that are less than maybe 20, 25 seater that can run the small and the thin routes, Benin, Port Harcourt, Owerri, Kano, Maiduguri. We need to license a new set of a group so that we can have more airlines in place. Because at the moment we still have issues with passengers not having seats or flights not being available, and that has also made the ticket fare to increase. I think we need to do that. We also need to strengthen the support for any of the airlines we are asking to operate outside Nigeria, because if we do not show that love and we do not show that backing and that power that yes, this is a flag carrier and we are behind it, but they will be lost in the aero politics that is normally seen when it comes to international flights. I think we need to support that. Again, we need to attract investors to see how they can invest in our airlines. Rwanda has Qatar investing there in both the carrier and the airport. They are also going to an airline in South Africa. Yet, with all the airlines we have in Nigeria, we have the most vibrant domestic market in Africa. Yet, no foreign investor is coming in. And there must be something we are not doing right, and that's the thing that we need to look for. One of those things is the infrastructure.
All right. Olumide, I would have to wrap up the conversation now and have you join us again some other time. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing how this eventually plays out, and that the arguments and the negotiation favors Nigeria as well in the conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.